I can't hear you.
What?
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. What would you do if silence was the only sound you've ever known?
Silence is a strange thing.
You don't notice it until it's everything. The world must seem so loud when it sounds so empty.
It must be confusing when you're forced to learn to make your hands say everything your voice once did. Or maybe your voice has only ever come from signs taught to you by the muffled sounds leaving your mother and brother, like they're coming from cracks in the sidewalk, or like screens underwater, and the shoreline is leaving you.
The first thing I learned to speak in sign language was, I love you. It was menial. I have been hearing those 3 words forever. My father would whisper, I love you, as I fell asleep. My mother would send me off with it. I would brave every day of elementary school with that soft-spoken reminder. I always knew what it sounded like. Love looks different in this foreign language. It looks like sitting in the back of class, glazed eyes as lips move quickly, instinctually unable to appreciate the fact that he can't hear you. It phases no one.
I remember sitting starstruck next to the only deaf student in a crowded room watching as his fingertips spoke physics, and I was more captivated by his hands than any lesson Newton's laws could teach me.
Since the age of 5, he's known better English than them, spoke the difference between deafness and dumbness, always felt in the palms of his hands that being speechless did not mean he has nothing to say. You don't have to be deaf to know that sometimes people won't listen either way.
One afternoon we sat at a lunch table, amazed by the volumes that were spoken while it seemed that no words were being said at all, embracing the sadness that no one loves to hear the sound of our own voice more than we do. Yet some people never get to hear theirs.
And when people lack the ability to hear, their heartbeat becomes music, and your heartbeat is the percussion they feel in their fingertips.
How beautiful it must be.
So tell me, would your words fall graceful or flat if they could only ascend from these 2 hands? Would they mean as much to you if you couldn't hear them? The greatest things you could ever say may lack these words, but in action speak louder.
So do not yell. In fact, do not speak at all.
Give me signs, because I still can't hear you.